Palooza, 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 Palooza. When I started making this video, it was potgot season. Potgot is the word for cherry blossoms in Korean. It's long past potgot season now, but in this video, your mission is to find the 아름다운 potgot 호수, which you'll find by completing the tasks of each round. I'll explain more as we get going, so let's go ahead and get started.
This is Practice Palooza 3. Here's the game plan. Because this is a Palooza, it will be strictly practice, not a lesson. I will not be teaching anything, so if you are unfamiliar with adjectives in Korean, you'll probably want to check out the previous adjective videos before coming back to this one. This video will be fast, but you do not have to be. I want to fit in everything that we've covered on adjectives all into this one video, so I will not be giving as much time as usual for each question, so please take advantage of that pause button. This video will be broken up into 4 sections: adjectives before nouns, P-up adjectives before nouns, adjectives after nouns, and P-up adjectives after nouns, followed by a quick combo round. With all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Round 1. Regular adjectives before nouns. Let's start with naming the nouns that we'll be using with our adjectives. Can you remember each one? I'll give you a few seconds for each one, followed by a hint, and then the answer. But remember to pause if you need more time. Let's start with house. 집. box. 상자. clock. 시계. hat. 모자. student. 학생. building. 건물. mountain. 산. movie. 영화. Great! And now the adjectives that we'll use with these nouns. Let's see what you can remember. I want you to remember the dictionary form for noun, so all of the adjectives will end with ta. Again, I'll give you a few seconds before giving a hint, but of course you can always pause for more time. Let's start with big. 크다. small. 작다. expensive. 비싸다. cheap. 싸다. strange. 이상하다. high. 높다. low. 낮다. good. 좋다. bad. 나쁘다. happy. 행복하다. Alright, now that we've got our adjectives and our nouns, can you remember how to say big house? I'll show you the rules in just a minute, but let's see what you can remember first. And of course, pause if you need more time. 큰 집. And here are the rules in case you forgot. And now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do two phrases at a time. We've got 큰 집, but how would you say small house? 작은 집. 따라해 보세요. 큰 집, 작은 집. Okay, how about big box, little box? 큰 상자, 작은 상자. Big mountain, small mountain. 큰 산, 작은 산. Expensive house, cheap house. 비싼 집, 싼 집. Good movie, bad movie. 좋은 영화, 나쁜 영화. High mountain, low mountain. 높은 산, 낮은 산. Happy student, strange student. 행복한 학생, 이상한 학생. High building, low building. 높은 건물, 낮은 건물. Expensive hat, cheap hat. 비싼 모자, 싼 모자. Okay, now let's see how well you can remember without the vocab charts, and let's try 4 at a time. You've got about 15 seconds, but of course, pause for more time. 높은 산, 행복한 학생, 비싼 시계, 산 모자. Next round. Again, you've got 15 seconds, but pause for more time. 나쁜 영화, 좋은 학생, 높은 건물, 작은 상자. And final round. 비싼 집, 이상한 집, 작은 집, 높은 집. Alright, let's get serious now. We're gonna need some secret agent skills because there's a place you've recently heard about that we need to find. It's a beautiful 호수 full of 벚꽃. Let's call it 벚꽃 호수. You know it's somewhere within a 1-hour radius of the cafe that you're currently at, but you're not exactly sure where. Just then, you overhear a Korean couple talking. It seems that somewhere in town, there's a hidden 지도, leading to 벚꽃 호수. And it seems that this couple knows exactly where to find this 지도. You listen carefully. 벚꽃 호수 지도는 그 높은 건물의 1층에 있더라고. What's that? The 지도 is on the first floor of a 높은 건물? Which one is the 높은 건물? 높은 건물. 높은 건물. Wow, thank goodness there's only one 높은 건물 in town. We know exactly where to go. Okay, but once we get there, where do we look next? 지도가 작은 상자 안에 있어. What's that? It's in a 작은 상자? 작은 상자. 작은 상자. 작은 상자. Alright, but where exactly is this 작은 상자 going to be in the building? 상자는 비싼 시계 옆에 있더라고. What's that now? It's by the 비싼 시계? 비싼 시계. 비싼 시계. 비싼 시계. Okay, but what if there are a lot of boxes by the 시계? How will we know if we have the correct one? 비싼 모자에 그림이 있다고 들어서. Did you just say there's a picture on the box of a 비싼 모자? 비싼 모자. 비싼 모자. 비싼 모자. Wait, now they're saying something kind of weird. 이상한 학생을 피해야지. We have to avoid the 이상한 학생? 이상한 학생. 이상한 학생. 이상한 학생. Okay, so we're looking for the 지도 in a 작은 상자 with a picture of a 비싼 모자 by a 비싼 시계 on the first floor of a 높은 건물. And we have to avoid the 이상한 학생. 알겠죠? And I suppose we should go find this 지도 before the couple does. But first, round 2. This time, we're going to cover P of adjectives before nouns. So, just like round 1, let's first see which nouns you can remember. Once again, I'll give you a few seconds for each, followed by a hint before revealing the answer. But if that's too slow for you, you can also pause here, try to name them all, and then just skip ahead, or of course, you can change the video's speed. Let's start with weather. 날씨. Test or exam. 시험. Food. 음식. Scenery or view. 경치. Baby. 아기. Shoes. 신발. Bag. 가방. And the adjectives themselves. Once again, all verbs and adjectives end with 다. And in this round, you also have the hint that each one ends with 피읍 as well. Let's start with cold. 춥다. Hot. 덥다. Easy. 쉽다. Difficult. 어렵다. Light, as in lightweight. 가볍다. Heavy. 무겁다. Spicy. 맵다. New. 새롭다. Cute. 귀엽다. Beautiful. 아름답다. Okay, so we've got our adjectives and our nouns. Before I show you the P of irregular rules, let's see if you can remember them first. Can you say cold weather? 추운 날씨. Here are the P of irregular rules. Drop ta and P and add un when putting a P of irregular adjective in front of a noun. Alright, now just like round 1, I'm going to give you 2 phrases at a time. And of course, you can always pause for more time. Let's start with cold weather and hot weather. 추운 날씨, 더운 날씨. Easy test, hard test. 쉬운 시험, 어려운 시험. Light bag, heavy bag. 가벼운 가방, 무거운 가방. New shoes, cute shoes. 새로운 신발, 귀여운 신발. Cute baby, beautiful baby. 귀여운 아기, 아름다운 아기. And lastly, to use up all of the vocabulary, spicy food and beautiful scenery. 매운 음식, 아름다운 경치. Now, let's get 3 quick lightning rounds in here. Without being able to see any of the vocabulary charts, you must name and describe the items in each room of this here, dungeon. Lightning round 1. Spicy food, new shoes, and cute baby. Why is there a baby with black teeth in this dungeon? No questions? 매운 음식, 새로운 신발, 귀여운 아기. Ah, look, the hallway continues. But this one is littered with a heavy bag, an easy test, and hot weather. 무거운 가방, 쉬운 시험, 더운 날씨. And now we've reached a staircase leading to outside. It looks like it leads to some beautiful scenery. But wow, does it feel like cold weather? I guess it's actually leading to our cold, beautiful demise. But hey, look! A new bag. 아름다운 경치, 추운 날씨, 새로운 가방. Woo, we made it! Unfortunately, this is not where we're trying to be. This is where we're trying to be. Let's get back to the task at hand. Before we move on to round 3, we need to get that 지도 on the first floor of this 높은 건물, so we can get to the 벚꽃 호수. Thankfully, we get there pretty easily and we're able to open the 상자, grab the 지도, and prepare to get out. But oh no! It's the hall monitor. The exact person we were supposed to avoid. How did he appear like that? 그거 뭐예요? He asks, looking at the 지도 in our hands. Oh gosh, and he speaks Korean? I know, let's pretend like we don't know what he's talking about. That's right, it's full sentence time. It's a heavy bag. Thank goodness there happens to be a 무거운 가방 in the room. But can you remember how to say it's a 무거운 가방? 무거운 가방이에요. Here are the IDA rules if you want to pause for a very quick reminder, because hall monitor boy seems a little annoyed. 아니요, 그게 뭐예요? Oh, you mean my new shoes here? Why, they're new shoes. Thank you for noticing. 새로운 신발이에요. 아니요, 손에 있는 거 뭐예요? Oh, this paper? Oh, it's just an easy test. No big deal. I totally passed. 쉬운 시험이에요. 쉬운 시험이 아니에요. Okay, you're right. It was actually a little hard. 어려운 시험이에요. I think hall monitor boy is about to call for backup. We gotta do something. Oh look! It's a heavy baby. 무거운 아기예요. Hall monitor boy is distracted just enough for us to slip out of there. Was there really a 무거운 아기? Well, someone was coming, that's for sure. But we don't have to worry about that because it's time for round 3. Adjectives after nouns. We'll be using the same adjectives in this round as round 1, but with a few new nouns. Like before, I'll give you a few seconds, followed by a hint, followed by the answer. You can always pause for more time, or you can speed up or skip this part of the video if you're familiar with these words. Let's start with person. 사람. Boat. 배 ladder 사다리 picture or photograph 사진 kid I car 차 Okay, we've got our adjectives and our nouns, plus we're going to throw in 가방 for this round too. Now for round 3, instead of a phrase like happy person, we're going to make sentences like the person is happy. I'll give you about 10 seconds to see if you can remember how to make this particular sentence, and then I'll give a hint and a mini explanation. 사람이 행복해요. I've added the subject particle to 사람, but you also could have added the topic particle 는 or 은 to get 사람은 행복해요. I'll be using the subject particle today with most of our sentences for reasons that I've explained in our previous lessons, but if you prefer the topic particle, then feel free. Next, we've turned 행복하다 into 행복해요 for polite present tense. Adjectives in Korean act as the verb of the sentence, meaning you'll follow the same conjugation rules as putting any normal verb into present tense. So let's put these over here. Because adjectives act as the verb of the sentence, you don't need am, is, or are, because the adjective already contains the meaning of be. In other words, 행복하다 could translate to happy or to be happy, whichever one helps you remember it better. I've already taught this in depth in the previous lessons, so let's go ahead and get started by making 8 full sentences. And you know the drill by now. Pause anytime you need. The ladder is tall. 사다리가 높아요. The bag is expensive. 가방이 비싸요. The boat is big. 배가 커요. The picture is good. 사진이 좋아요. The picture is bad. 사진이 나빠요. The car is expensive. 차가 비싸요. The kid is happy. 아이가 행복해요. The picture is strange. 사진이 이상해요. Okay, now let's try two at a time, but this time a little more in depth. This car is cheap, but that car is expensive. To say this car, we'll use 이 차. And to say that car, we could use 그 차 or 저 차. We'll pretend that the car is far away from us both, so let's use 저 차. Now, if you notice, these two sentences are comparing and contrasting the two cars. This car is cheap, but that car is expensive. Using the subject particle is still perfectly grammatically correct, but to really give the nuance that we're comparing and contrasting those two cars, let's switch to 는 and 은. 이 차는, 저 차는. Alright, go ahead and finish these sentences. 이 차는 싸요. 저 차는 비싸요. 이 배는, 저 배는. 이 배는 작아요. 저 배는 커요. 이 사진은, 저 사진은. 이 사진은 좋아요. 저 사진은 나빠요. 이 사다리는, 저 사다리는. 이 사다리는 높아요. 저 사다리는 낮아요. 이 아이는, 저 아이는. 이 아이는 커요. 저 아이는 작아요. Alright, now let's get back to the mission already. So far, we managed to get the jido, leading to 벚꽃 호수, without getting caught by the 이상한 학생. Imagine being a hall monitor as your part-time job. Let's take a look at the jido. Looks like we can walk to the bus stop and catch a bus directly to the lake. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Now, something you really need to know about Korea is that people are usually very quiet on public transportation. People don't usually carry on a normal volume conversation on the bus, and some bus drivers will not hesitate to tell you, 조용히 해주세요. That being said, there are always exceptions, like a late night train with people drunk on soju, or a bus with a high school soccer team, or in our case today, a very talkative 아저씨 sitting next to you. I drew him, what do you guys think? Let's make some small talk with him. The weather is good. 날씨가 좋아요.
아이고 날씨가 좋긴 개뿔. 야 벌써부터 무릎이 시려오는 게 딱 봐도 이따가 소나기 내리겠다 야.
You don't know what he said, but it's nothing a polite 네 won't solve. Aw, there's a cute kid laughing across the aisle. The kid is happy, you want to say. 아이가 행복해요.
에이, 요즘 어린 것들 말이야, 버르장머리 없이 어르신이 계시는데 실실 쪼개고 있어,
네. Vroom, vroom. Wow, that's a big car out the window. The car is big. 차가 커요.
야마, 나 때는 말이야, 우려껏 타고 언덕 넘어서 학교 가고 그랬어. 요즘 것들은 세상 좋아진 줄을 몰라요. 저 스포츠카니, 머슬 트럭이니 뭐니.
네. Just then, you notice a sign outside. Kind of weird, right? The sign is strange. 표지판. 표지판이 이상해요.
야마, 나 군대 있을 때 말이야, 저보다 더 큰 모기도 있었어. 막 총으로 쏴서 나서 중대장한테 희가도 받고 그랬다고.
네. Hey, we're getting close to Hosu. You can already see little boats on the lake in the distance. You point to one of the boats and say, the boat is small. 배가 작아요.
어이구, 요즘 어린 것들 남사시럽게 저런 오리배 타고 빨간 대낮에 부끄러운 줄도 모르더라고. 이게 다 아메리카니, 헐리우드니 뭐니 뭐 괴상한 문화가 들어와서 그런겨.
네. Well, looks like we've arrived. Let's say goodbye to the 아저씨 as it looks like he's not getting off at this stop. 안녕히 계세요.
네.
We finally made it to Hosu. What should we do now? Take a stroll? Have a picnic? Take some pictures? I know. Let's start round 4. P of adjectives after nouns. We'll be using the same P of adjectives from round 2, but with 7 different nouns. As before, you'll have a few seconds, followed by the hint and then the answer. And again, you can always change the speed of the video if this part is too fast or slow. Let's start with toy. 장난감. Homework. 숙제. Basket. 바구니. Puppy. 강아지. Garden. 정원. Sauce. 소스. Room. 방. Okay, we've got our adjectives and our nouns. And like before, let's see if you can remember how to make the following sentence before I remind you of the rules. The room is cold. Remember that these are all piep irregular adjectives. 방이 추워요. Remember, for piep irregular adjectives after nouns, at least in the simplified version, you will drop 다 and piep and add wo요 for the formal form. Okay, so let's move on with the room is hot. 방이 더워요. The homework is easy. 숙제가 쉬워요. The basket is heavy. 바구니가 무거워요. The toy is new. 장난감이 새로워요. The puppy is cute. 강아지가 귀여워요. The garden is beautiful. 정원이 아름다워요. The sauce is spicy. 소스가 매워요. The homework is hard. 숙제가 어려워요. The basket is light. 바구니가 가벼워요. And two at a time, just like in the previous rounds. 이 숙제는, 저 숙제는. 이 숙제는 쉬워요. 저 숙제는 어려워요. 이 바구니는, 저 바구니는. 이 바구니는 가벼워요. 저 바구니는 무거워요. 이 방은, 저 방은. 이 방은 추워요. 저 방은 더워요. Now let's play Finish That Sentence. I'm going to show you some pictures from some of my favorite places where I currently live in Korea, plus the first part of a sentence. And you are going to complete the sentence with whatever adjectives you want. For example, 꽃들이. You could say 아름다워요, 꽃들이 작아요, 꽃들이 커요, 꽃들이 예뻐요. Whatever you want. Got it? Let's start with 산이. Again, you could have said anything, but I'm going to go with 산이 높아요. 건물들이. I'm going to use 높아요 again, although compared to Seoul, I guess these buildings are pretty 낮아요. But of course, you could have said anything. And finally, 토끼들이. I'm going to go with 토끼들이 귀여워요. Now let's not forget the mission at hand. We just said goodbye to our chatty 아저씨 on the bus, and we've officially arrived at 벚꽃 호수. Let's find a place to sit and have a picnic. We set out our blanket and sit down, and not long after, a sweet little 할머니 comes over, and despite having at least 10 other places to sit, takes a seat at the bench right next to us. You might think it'd be weird to sit so close to another person, but nope, that's perfectly normal in Korea. She smiles and watches us, so like with the ajashi on the bus, let's have a mini conversation with her. The cherry blossoms are beautiful. Do you remember the word for cherry blossoms? If you need a hint, think of the name of the lake that we've been looking for this entire time. Blah blah blah, 호수. 벚꽃. Okay, so how would you say the 벚꽃 are beautiful? 벚꽃이 아름다워요. Harmony smiles and nods. You know what else is beautiful? That garden right next to us. The garden is beautiful. 정원이 아름다워요. Harmony approves. 어머, something just jumped out of the garden. Why, it's a puppy. The puppy is cute. 강아지가 귀여워요. Harmony seems to really like puppies, or at least she seems to really like everything here. Alright, let's go ahead and eat. Grab the picnic basket. What do you mean you didn't notice it until now? Anyway, bring it on over here to the center of the blanket. You stand up to get it from the grass next to us, but Harmony looks concerned with how heavy it is. 괜찮아요, you say. The basket is light. 바구니가 가벼워요. We offer Harmony some food, but she politely holds up her hand and shakes her head. And I don't think she regrets that decision after you take a bite, because holy moly, the sauce is spicy. 소스가 매워요. Wow, what a day. We eavesdropped on a couple, lied to a child teenager, and made the bare minimum of small talk with an ajashi and a harmony. Also, we were trapped in that dungeon for a little while. But we can't finish this video without our final mini combo round. And we can't do our combo round without covering something I haven't brought up since our first adjective video. 맛있다 and 재미있다. If you remember, despite being adjectives, these two words contain the verb 있다, to exist. So they literally translate to flavor exists and fun exists. Because 있다 is a verb, it will not follow the adjective rules when in front of a noun. When in front of a noun, 맛있다 and 재미있다 will turn into what? Can you remember? 맛있는 and 재미있는. And keep in mind that the 는 in both of these words is not related to the topic particle 는 and 은 at all. So how would you say delicious food? 맛있는 음식. And it's delicious food. 맛있는 음식이에요. But to say the food is delicious, you will follow the normal verb rules that other regular adjectives follow as well. So we have 음식이, 맛있어요. Okay, so let's get to our mini combo round with all of the concepts that we've covered in this entire video. As I said though, this is a mini round, so we're only going to do 5 sets of sentences with 2 reps each. And this is the only time of the video that I'm going to recommend that you don't pause, but try to challenge yourself and answer as quickly as possible. If you find that you still need more time, no worries at all, just try your best. Your brain will naturally get faster at this each day. You might even find that after a good night's sleep, you'll be even faster already by tomorrow. Just give it a shot within the time limit for the first 1 or 2 questions, and then feel free to pause after that if you need to. Are you ready? 시작! It's nice weather. The weather is nice. 좋은 날씨예요. 날씨가 좋아요. It's an expensive toy. The toy is expensive. 비싼 장난감이에요. 장난감이 비싸요. It's a heavy bag. The bag is heavy. 무거운 가방이에요. 가방이 무거워요. It's a beautiful garden. The garden is beautiful. 아름다운 정원이에요. 정원이 아름다워요. It's delicious food. The food is delicious. And remember that delicious is 맛있다. 맛있는 음식이에요. 음식이 맛있어요. Alright, I don't know about you, but I'm done. Your brain 어때요? I think this is the biggest video I've made so far, so if you made it all the way through, 진짜 수고하셨어요. Let's wind down for a few seconds with the true 벚꽃 호수. 용낭호. This is the name of a lake in my city that is full of 벚꽃 every spring. So feel free to just zone out and let your brain enter a meditative state, absorbing all the benefits of all the work that you put in today. Great job, and I'll see you guys in the next video. 다음에 또 봐요.